dense and rugged Alaskan wilderness provided the perfect cover for a fierce and sadistic killer. He preyed on women, kidnapping them, raping them, torturing them. He hunted them like animals for his own twisted pleasure.
To Alaska looking for a fresh start, to reinvent themselves, or to disappear for a while. Some of those disappearances weren't by choice. I'm Jim Kelston, former head of the FBI's New York office. A serial killer's rampage was exposed when the bodies of young women began turning up in shallow graves that dotted the Alaskan wilderness. The killer was at home in the rugged terrain, but the hunt for him began 3,000 miles away, where FBI profilers mapped the criminal's mind.
She was a hopeful young mother looking for her dream. She accepted a job with a man who claimed to be a photographer, but turned out to be a merciless killer. She wasn't his first victim, or his last. From the 70s through the mid-80s, the wilderness of Alaska became a popular destination as people flowed north to construct the Alaskan pipeline. The population boomed. On August 13, 1982, two off-duty Anchorage police officers were hunting moose near the Chinook River, in a wilderness about 20 miles from Anchorage. As they made their way through the dense forests, they happened upon partially buried human remains. They left it undisturbed. The next day, crime scene technicians from the Alaska State Troopers arrived at the scene. Crimes out here fell under state jurisdiction. Besides clothing and an elastic bandage, troopers found a .223 caliber shell casing in the shallow grave. Dental records identified the remains as 23-year-old Sherry Morrow, an exotic dancer reported missing a year earlier by her boyfriend. Troopers called him in to break the news. Her clothes matched the ones he reported her missing, but her good luck charm, the gold arrowhead pendant she never took off, was gone. Morrow was probably murdered shortly after she disappeared, giving the killer more than a year to cover his tracks. Finding it would be next to impossible. In the year following the discovery of Sherry Morrow's body, more women began turning out. It's a sad truth that finding bodies in the Alaskan wilderness wasn't all that unusual. 2 or 3 times a year, some novice hiker or hunter would get lost and succumb to the elements. But a growing number of bodies had a different story to tell. During new road construction on September 2nd, 1983, a crew unearthed human skeletal remains not far from where Sherry Morrow's body had been found 1 year earlier. The bones had obviously been here for some time. Yet until recently, this area of the Knik River was so remote that it could only be accessed by boat or light plane. The remains were identified as 17-year-old Paula Goulding, an out-of-work secretary who had moved to Alaska from Hawaii. She had been missing for 5 months. Like Sherry Morrow, she had taken a job as an exotic dancer to make ends meet. And like Sherry Morrow, the .223 caliber cartridge was found at the site. For Alaska State Trooper Wayne Van Clausen, the connection was frightening.
And that's about when everything started to become kind of scary for everybody, because the profile was the same. They were accomplished dancers from the clubs downtown, but that was certainly when there was the belief that there was a serial murderer out there.
2 bodies had been found, but now troopers believed there were more. They began to revisit missing persons reports. Many of those reported missing were exotic dancers, but in Alaska, their disappearance was not unusual.
Missing persons was a relatively low priority. Statutorily, if you're an adult, you have a right to be missing. And there were a lot of instances where these girls would just jump on a plane and go away.
Between 1980 and 1983, 12 women had been reported missing. That was only a fraction of the unreported total. Troopers now wondered how many of the missing women were victims of the killer. That would be difficult to determine. The Alaska State Troopers sent the evidence from the Sherry Morrow and Paula Goulding crime scene to the FBI's laboratory in Washington, D.C. for analysis. The FBI ran ballistics tests on both shell casings to see if they were shot from the same gun. State troopers hoped the results could provide them with strong evidence that the same person committed both murders. The lab results were conclusive. Both women were killed by the same high-powered rifle. There was little doubt Alaska troopers were dealing with a serial killer. While they began their hunt for him in the wilderness, the Anchorage police were dealing with their own problems. Every city has its dark side, and Anchorage is no different. Except that in Alaska, the nights are longer and darker. In the 70s and 80s, Anchorage was a frontier town.
A wild storm battered West Auckland on the night of August the 15th, 1980. As rain pelted down on the tin roof of 70 Canal Road, 6-year-old Alicia O'Reilly kissed her mother goodnight and went to bed. Alicia shared a bedroom with her 8-year-old sister, Juliet. In the early hours, Juliet awoke to wind on her face and found their bedroom window open. When morning came, Alicia appeared to be sleeping in. But the little girl would never wake again. She had been brutally raped and murdered in her own bed, while her sister slept just a metre away. It was a sickening crime that shocked New Zealand and terrified the residents of the quiet Auckland suburb of Avondale. The mayor of Auckland was so outraged, he called for the killer to receive the death penalty. Despite a massive manhunt by police, 25 years on, the killer of 6-year-old Alicia O'Reilly is still at large. Tonight, 2 psychics will lead a team of investigators in a search for new clues.
Yeah, oh yeah. That I can pick up on.
But she doesn't want to go down there.
Using only their psychic ability, they will assist in the hunt for Alicia's killer.
She's a pretty little thing. Very pretty.
She's just a little dag, man. She's a hard case thing.
She was quite a tomboy, really. Alicia, where are you, darling?
If I said she was strangled, would that be on the right track?
They either smothered her or something in the bedroom, because I haven't got her alive.
Bump in the night.
Bizarre is probably not the right word. It was just terrific.
They're putting something on her face.
Jeez, that's heavy just through there.
I think he got in the back.
It is a mother's nightmare when you think there is something wrong with your child and you cannot get to them.
The passing years have done little to numb the pain felt by Alicia's mother, Nancy.
It's been a very, very hard 25 years. It's been a very long journey of healing. But it never ever quite goes away, you know. Coming out to the cemetery and seeing the stone and knowing that they're both here. Yeah, I still feel very sad.
Alicia's murder was the first of a string of heartbreaking tragedies endured by Nancy O'Reilly, who has lost not 1, but 3 daughters. 7 years after Alicia's murder, 15-year-old Juliet was killed by a drunk driver. 3 years later, baby Kimberly died when she was just 6 hours old. All Nancy has now is memories.
Alicia as a child was hard work, a bundle of energy. When Alicia was awake, everyone in the house was awake. She was naughty, mischievous, but extremely loving.
Until it was quite completed.
Hello, baby.
She was not much of a reader, liked the television, liked the school, although I must say that the only school report that I ever got for Alicia was, Mrs. O'Reilly, Alicia's going to be very good at parties when she gets older.
Retired Assistant Police Commissioner Barry Matthews was head of the original inquiry into Alicia's murder. Through his investigations, he gained an insight into her personality.
She was an outgoing, probably a little bit precocious, but normal 6-year-old girl. Had a lot of friends, enjoyed life, and but for this, would have enjoyed a future life.
Alicia and her sister Juliet were born only 18 months apart, and people often mistook them for twins. But their personalities were like chalk and cheese.
Alicia was not extremely good at her schoolwork. Juliet, on the other hand, was very studious. Alicia just wanted to have a good time. Let's party. Let's talk. Let's be probably a lot like I had been as a child. Let's be disruptive.
Nancy was a solo mother struggling on a benefit to raise her daughters. 2 months before Alicia's murder, Nancy had a nervous breakdown.
Alicia was extremely concerned with my health, so she'd write me little notes. You know, Mummy, I love you. I love you very much. And she couldn't spell much right. She'd always put match. Alicia had this most annoying habit of cuddling everybody. Now, you may think that's a bit strange, me saying annoying, but she would talk to anybody.
I think Alicia probably would have been a challenge.
Hey?
She was a little bit naughty, had a tendency to want to get into medicine and those sort of things.
Hiya, Rocket.
She had this fascination for pills, for tablets of any kind. So most of her life,
How are you doing?
My head's on fucking fire.
How long's it got to be on there for? 4 minutes.
40?
40.
Yeah, that's what it said. 30 minutes to 40 minutes. God, what's he saying? I can't read it. I can't put my glasses on.
Doing good, enjoying my day,
Day
off.
off.
How are you?
Ah, my head's burning.
You'll see it later.
Whether it's going right or wrong. I've just cut my hair. And I'm dyeing it now. Sick of being grey. So it's either going to go right or it's going to turn fucking ginger. And you can all call me Ginger Pubes. Have you had a good day so far, Rocket? Chilling out, I hope. What's the matter, baby? Oh, I've got some new treats for you. Yeah.
That's what she wanted.
Got these ones. They're new. These are new. Do you like them or not?
Well, they're new.
New ones. Yeah, your baby.
Exactly. Can't complain.
Come on. Yeah. You like them? They're turkey and lamb. New ones. That nice? Oh, it's all of it. Here you go. Is it? All gone? All gone? You like that? That nice? I don't think the head should be burning this much though. It said to do a test to see if you're allergic. I have to pop that. I'm playing anything I can wait. It's cool, yeah. Sure is. You see, any day off from work is bad because it means I get up to no good. I love your reaction yesterday when I
That's why I call you FBI Rocket.
Yeah, I think I'll just leave it on for half an hour. Do you think?
Yes.
You ain't lie, they'll call me hair will fall out. Then you can call me Baldy Locks.
Or my dad would call
You want your dinner?
my nephew. My dad used to call me nephew when he was young, when he was little. Gary Baldy.
Yeah, no, I'm not fucking okay.
Gary Baldy. He kept saying to the nephew when he was little, "Alright, Gary Baldy, how is it going?" You got any hair yet? That's my dad. My dad had one of those sarcastic / funny sense of humour. And I do miss him. My dad would have called Gary if he saw his hair. He would have called Gary Ginger Minja. Why not? Why not? Go ahead, I don't mind.
What?
We should come out with a nickname for you, Anne-Marie. Laugh out loud. What do you have in mind?
Let's give you some pronouns.
Her, it, meh.
Hot dog liquor.
I like that one.
Yeah, my pronouns are F and U. Yeah, is that nice?
Art muffin.
Art muffin, it makes it. You know what that sounds like? Like she's drawn a fucking love art in her pubes. It does. That's the first thing what popped in my head. A love art, you know, drawn into your bush hair. Art muffin. You see? That's the first thing what popped in my head. Maybe you want to draw that now.
Oh, friggin' hell. What muffin? Art muffin? Oh my god.
That's just wrong.
That doesn't sound right. Everybody will be like, who the fuck's Art Muffin?
That's what I pictured. Oh, muffin. Yeah. They put some glitter on it.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, dear. Oh my god. See what you started, Rocket.
What time is it?
1943.
So what, another 17 minutes of this on my head. And we'll see what happens. But he doesn't do anything. Did say keep it on for 40 minutes, but I don't know. I think I missed a bit.
No, keep going, Rocket. You're making me laugh. What? Mm-hmm. I learnt something new today. Because I was learning about obviously the oracle cards and the history of it, etc. I came across playing cards, using playing cards for a reading. And I was like, I never knew that. I thought they were just normal playing cards to play 21 or whatever. But yeah, you can do a reading from them. The first one I looked at, it was about a question, saying who will you love, or who do you love, that kind of thing, or does he love me back, does she love me back, you know, that kind of question, and it works. Yeah. That's what I said, why? You're making me laugh. So, I was fascinated by it, because I wasn't doing any projects, because I normally do, while I'm learning, I'll work on my projects, and this one I was just glued to the screen. I was like, wow.
They sold that farm wheel.
Oh no.
I should have knew. I should have fucking bought it. I had a funny feeling. gone.
To wait for one to come up.
Hmm.
I didn't need that many, but oh well.
Oh, it's a... Oh, I did miss a bit.
You did?
Yeah, it was down that side.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. But it doesn't even do anything. Yeah? What do you want? If it doesn't do now, at least I'll have my hair cut.
Mm.
It's Columbus Day today, isn't it? In America.
I think so, yeah.
I'm not being back on Assassin's Creed Odyssey because I just end up causing trouble on it. I hate the way it gives you a choice that you got to fight for either the Spartans or the Athenians. And it's like, which path do you choose? Oh, you are... what?
You are correct.
Oh, right, yeah, about Columbus Day, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Who did I meet on it last night? That game. I'm sure it was Socrates. Yeah, I just skipped through his conversation, he started boring me. Hey, Scratch Master.
Hello, Scratch Master.
I can read him, I'm still really far back.
Mm.
Very, very blurry.
9.
Have you noticed though a lot of the mayonnaise is vanishing?
Mhm.
Eh? And they're turning it to a sauce.
Mhm.
So they're calling it garlic sauce.
Yes.
And all the other ones, and they're changing them to sauces, not mayonnaises. So
That's why I couldn't find them.
yeah, because it's basically fucking chemical crap. Is that pretty cat gone? Stop jumping out and scaring me, you bugger. You playing? You trying to scare me? Yeah. What are you doing then? Oh, you little bugger. What?
Oh, what would that be?
Not twat bottle, is it?
Dave Express. Dave Express.
Sorry, can't hear you. What? What?
Dave Express.
That just sounds like fucking got premature fucking ejaculation. Thanks, Rocket. Why don't you just say premature Dave?
Oh my freaking god.
The fuck? That'd be a good subject for tonight, that. You've got to come up with each other's nicknames.
Yeah. Yes, okay, Baba. Mummy's okay.
She's not, she's over here. She's in the hallway playing with a bag.
No, she did come up just now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
I've got to finish spraying that other robot. Really? Yeah? Hello?
Oh gosh, you are. I needed that laugh.
Yeah, he's
Belly?
I know. At least he's not foggy today.
No, it was foggy on the hills.
Yeah, yesterday it was just solid fog. You barely see anything. Oh, I took a picture, didn't I?
Mhm.
I don't even know if it'd show up on here.
You never know.
Yeah, that's how foggy it was yesterday. You can just barely see the street lights. Just solid fog. Yeah, that was before, and then it just kept getting worse. Yeah, it's just like that all yesterday.
It's the first fog of the year.
Yeah, we get fog really bad here. These are all the farm fields. Shut up, Belly. Fed in a bit. Oh, I need it first. Eggs. Right, go to the Vickies. Right. Get some new Vickies. Let's change their shit. Don't like them, do you? Ready? Get some new ones. There you go, try them. They're good. Yeah, you like them, don't you? Night. Yeah.
Mm.
I forgot about that. Do a fresh biscuits, open a new box. Fog, especially when what?
Driving.
Oh, I thought you said gibing. Yeah, because we were watching the planes live, weren't we, taking off from Manchester Airport? And
Yeah.
you could barely see the planes.
My dad used to say, when it's foggy, it's like
Fog.
snow. It's like September mornings, hot picking mornings.
Right. Hey, shit, what time is it?
Nearly 8 o'clock.
I'll take this off in a minute. See what the fuck it's done to me hair. It does take 40 minutes. It'd be grey. And I'm grey. Thank you for helping me cut my hair, Anne.
You're very welcome.
Even though it looked like you were shaving Santa's ball sack with all that white hair falling off.
I'll go get mine cut. I'm struggling to even brush my hair now.
I'll cut it for you. I'm not paying 70 quid for a trim.
Mm-mm.
I refuse to spend my money in these barber shops. No way. No chance. I'm going to buy a new set of hair clippers anyway. And I'll get rid of them old ones.
I'm doing my hair at the weekend.
Yeah. I just want to get my tooth sorted. Never hurts until they start prodding about. Right? Them nice Vicky. You be a good girl. I think it's going to be a bad winter.
Oh no, I've seen loads of red berries on trees.
Yeah.
And I mean they're literally covered with them in them.
I keep putting bread out for the birds.
Ah, that'll be a good topic too. Superstitions.
Never walk under a ladder when it's on top of a van. Because you'll get run over.
Weird.
Time?
8.
Yeah. Minutes?
8:03.
No, no. 7 minutes. And I've got to wash this frigger off. See what happens. I'm sure it shouldn't have burnt that much though, putting it on. Burnt that crazy.
Na 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 na. Shut, 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 shut. Let's listen to my song.
Was spent going in and out of accident emergency rooms because she decided that she wanted to take this particular pill. Let's see what happens.
Alicia's death was no childhood accident. It was the result of a calculated and disturbing home invasion. The residents of 70 Canal Road could never have foreseen the tragedy to come as they settled in for a quiet Friday night at home.
In the house in Canal Road, I had a boyfriend at the time called Nigel. I lived with a young woman called Isabel. Isabel's boyfriend was called Jimmy. It was August, and although winter was over and spring was just becoming apparent with all the spring flowers in the garden, it was still very, very wet weather and very stormy weather. The children came home from school, they played. I did the Chinese meal, which was an absolute disaster. I mean, it was edible, but it was an absolute disaster. Nigel came in, Jimmy came in. We settled in for a night of watching television.
What are you eating?
And so 8:30, after the Turks at Hazard, off, I said, come on girls, into bed, off to bed now. We had an outside toilet, which was horrendous, in actual fact. Alicia went to the toilet, As she was coming past the lounge room door, I said to her, Alicia, don't take the cat to bed. Dressing gown wound around her. I knew the cat was under the dressing gown. Alicia, do not take the cat to bed. Thump goes the cat on the floor. She came to the lounge, kissed everyone that was in the lounge, happily, merrily skipped up the hallway into bed, yelling at me, Mummy, can you put my ballerina quilt on?
By midnight, all 4 adults and the girls were fast asleep. Nancy and her boyfriend Nigel were sleeping in the bedroom directly opposite Alicia and Juliet's.
I had in the house a window that was nailed shut with a piece of wood so that the cats could get in and out. So when I was awoken at around 5, I think, in the morning, I thought it was the cats getting in and out of the open window.
At 8:30 a.m., Nancy got up and found Juliet playing in the lounge.
Where's Alicia, love?
I actually asked her,
Still asleep.
is your sister awake? She went, no, mate, she's asleep. And I thought, oh, thank God, she's asleep, I can go back to bed. I can go back and just get a little bit of peace and quiet. You have to understand, I love this child, but she was really, really hard work. And from where I was sitting in the bed, I could see directly into Alicia's room, and I could see the bundle wrapped up in blankets, and thinking, oh, this is good, this is good.
At 9:30 a.m., a friend of Nancy's came to visit.
Can you check on Alicia for me?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I did not actually see Big Jim pull the blankets back, but I did see the look on his face. And when I saw the look on Big Jim's face,
Nigel?
it was just instant.
Nigel, could you come in here, mate?
Then, and only then, did I know that something was wrong.
Nigel?
I was up out of that bed. It was like cold water had been thrown over me. Obviously, Nigel knew that something was dreadfully wrong because he met me at the door, and I physically pushed him out of the way. It is a mother's nightmare when you think there is something wrong with your child and you cannot get to them. I can't describe the feeling of standing at the end of the bed and seeing her face and knowing that there was nothing that I could do as a mother, as her protector, to bring her back.
Next, a murder investigation swings into action, and a bizarre dream puts a local man under the police spotlight.
It was somewhat of a contradiction to see a quiet, peaceful scene in such a horrendously violent act.
It was just absolute and total confusion.
The injuries were such that a person would call out with the pain of it all, and no one heard that call.
Six-year-old Alicia O'Reilly was raped and murdered in her own bed while her family slept. Her lifeless body was not found until the following morning. It's been 25 years, but Alicia's mother Nancy remembers that horrific moment as though it were yesterday.
It was just absolute and total confusion. I remember running out into the hallway, hearing a woman scream, and I wasn't even aware that it was me that was screaming. Isabel came out of her room, and I remember screaming at Isabel, Alicia's dead, Alicia's dead.
At first, Nancy feared that her young daughter had swallowed a fatal overdose of pills.
I went running into the dining room. Where was the first aid kit? I had it right up on top of a wardrobe so that she couldn't get into it. It was safe and secure.
Hiya, Brad.
Back into the bedroom, looking at her and knowing that there was just nothing that I could do to bring it back.
When emergency services arrived, it soon became clear that the circumstances surrounding Alicia's death were much more sinister. Detective Sergeant Stuart Alsop-Smith is currently in charge of the murder inquiry. In 1980, he was one of the first young detectives to arrive at the crime scene.
Well, Canal Road was quite a residential area in Avondale, very much a sort of working class area. The house was fairly run down, but otherwise it was a normal suburban sort of house.
The condition of the house was appalling. We had wallpaper that was on the walls where the scrim was hanging, and on really, really windy days you could actually see the wallpaper moving in and out.
Some of the windows didn't close and some of the doors didn't close properly. So overall it was not in good condition.
And it's through this front bedroom window that the murderer is suspected of clambering.
The police investigation tried to retrace the killer's movements. Under cover of darkness in a violent storm,
I don't hang them, I put them away
and crept past the room when
in the box, but I am thinking of giving this one to my neighbour because she absolutely loves owls as a gift. She don't know it yet.
Throwing that light bulb out over into the long grass, the offender has smothered or in some way stopped Alicia Whitney by either putting the hand across the mouth or a pillowcase or something like that. And then at about that time has then raped Alicia.
Alicia died of suffocation in her bed and had been sexually assaulted.
She was lying on her left side. Her right arm was across the chest. She was fully clothed in her bedclothes, and there was a blanket and duvet that were partly covering her.
But it was somewhat of a contradiction to see a quiet, peaceful scene in such a horrendously violent act that obviously occurred with a sister alongside in an adjacent bed.
The injuries were such that a person would call out with the pain of it all, and no one heard that call. The combination of the assault and the smothering has caused her death. And then,
Well, I know she absolutely loves them, so I thought that this would be a good idea for a gift or something, you know.
And then has left the scene.
A scene examination could not reveal for certain how the killer
I
got
think
into
she'll
the house.
be
There was an external
92.
toilet, and so we couldn't exclude the possibility that someone had
In
gone to the
December?
toilet during the night, one of the adults.
The likelihood of someone perhaps using the toilet in the middle of the night and leaving it unlocked inadvertently could have been a possibility.
It is likely the killer escaped through the girl's bedroom window.
Juliet woken up with the wind on her face because it was a very stormy night, and she'd gotten up. She yelled out to Alicia, "Alicia, get up please and shut the window," and had no reply from Alicia. So she walked over to the bedroom window and shut it herself, but I don't remember her saying that she'd woken up at any other time.
So when we arrived, the window was closed, but obviously when we interviewed Juliet, she then made the point that it was open when she woke up.
When she got up, Juliet also noticed something unusual about the bedroom door.
We had this fork arrangement that went through the door because there was no door handle, and Juliet was aware when she got up that the fork had been removed from the door and placed over on a little cabinet that was on the side, and she also noticed that the door had been shut.
Strong winds and torrential rain played a significant part on that fateful night.
With an old house, there was a lot of noise and movement, and that obviously assisted the offender. It probably also assisted the offender in not leaving prints because the person's hands may have been wet. I suspect that the offender used the curtain to stop the fingerprints on the light bulb, but may also
I didn't say anything.
rub out anywhere that they've touched, but the
Yeah.
surface was very poor.
The police did find a partial palm print on the girl's bedroom door and a fingerprint. They didn't match any of the
They
200,000
do that. Some
prints
cats
in
do,
their
some cats
database.
don't.
To this day, police can't say for sure whether they belong to the killer.
Now, that may be because
bruh.
those prints were left by someone that has no police record, and there may be an innocent explanation for both those prints there.
However, the killer did leave behind a crucial piece of forensic evidence. The pathologist found a hair.
During the post-mortem there was a pubic hair that was found in the crease at the top of Alicia's legs, and that, I believe, was left by the offender in the course of the attack.
Police sent the hair to the Lucas Institute in Australia for analysis. It indicated the offender was possibly of Polynesian origin. Using nuclear technology, scientists tested the hair and made a significant discovery.
I do recall that there was some heavy metal significance attached to it, insofar as the source of the hair, that person would have been exposed to heavy metals.
5 types of heavy metal were present in the hair. One, called antimony, was rare and was only used in 2 industries, pottery and paint. Finally, the police had a breakthrough. They could try and track the killer through his work.
Whilst New Lynn had a lot of industrial pottery around, they had not used some of those components for some considerable time. And equally in terms of the paint industry, which was the other industry they're interested in, antimony had been used up until 1972 by Dulux, but not since then.
Police thought the killer may have been exposed to antimony while scraping old paint from houses. However, Auckland had thousands of houses with old paint. Police were unable to check them all.
There was other forensic evidence, seminal staining that was examined, and that did give us some indications of the offender. By way of
Okay, Rocket, we'll see you later.
And there was semen found inside her.
I'm going to head off here anyway in a minute.
Panties, and also on the sheet that she was lying on.
Tests on the killer's semen revealed his blood group was shared by only 8% of the population. Police set about trying to find someone with that blood group whose hair also tested positive for the heavy metal compounds. They began by investigating known sex offenders and men who knew Alicia.
All the occupants of the house were interviewed and were eliminated as possible suspects.
In the end, we had about 650 named and unnamed suspects.
This is someone who has been watching us. This is someone that has been watching the children.
We had 2 sightings, really. One from a newspaper boy that had seen a Polynesian male dressed in an army coat and dark trousers, holding a duffel bag outside the house at 6:30 that morning.
There was early morning movements in that particular area because of people going to early shift in factories and that sort of thing.
We had also from another neighbour 3 reported sightings of someone very similar to that at different times there, the night before the murder and in earlier times.
I had underwear stolen from the line. I had a ladder put up against the window where Alicia actually saw a face at the window.
There were a lot of reports of prowlers and people around that area prior to the murder, and so one couldn't exclude the fact that the offender had been around that and other houses prior to this event.
During their investigations, police came across a 23-year-old Polynesian man who lived in Canal Road. He made a shocking admission.
Quite bizarrely, the person talked about having had a dream about a boy of about 8 years of age entering the house and murdering and raping Alicia Riley.
I remember this dream, which at the time was quite striking in how vivid it actually was.
We initially started off relaying about what he'd seen in the dream, and then eventually he admitted that he was the person, and that it was actually him that went into the house and raped and murdered Alicia Riley. So we had the confession there that he was the one that had done it. The difficulty we had, of course, is that he was mentally feeble, and it was a bit like getting an admission off an 8-year-old child. Just the question is, how reliable is it?
When they showed me a photo of this young man, I said, it's not him, it's not him. Gut feeling again. And they looked at me a bit oddly at the time, thinking, well, what do you know that you're not telling us? And I just said, it's not him.
The difficulty with what he told us, both in the dream and subsequently what he said he did himself, was that there were some things that were consistent with the crime scene, but there were equally a number of things that were inconsistent.
He dressed her. He redressed her. He made her warm. He brushed her hair back. He almost laid her out. A young boy or a young man with the mentality of an 8-year-old does not do those things. I do not believe that the police were looking in the right direction.
One of the things that was interesting is that the hair sample we took off him was, of all the hair samples we took, the one that had the highest degree of probability of matching the one on the recent lead. We didn't have, of course, DNA then, unfortunately, and so we were trying to move it from how do we get it closer than just he's in the right blood group? Can we actually say whether he is or isn't the person that did this?
The suspect had the same blood group as the killer, but when scientists retested his hair, they found it didn't match the hair found on Alicia. The reliability of such testing has since come into question, and unfortunately, the testing process destroyed the killer's hair. So, forensically, the young man from Canal Road could not be totally eliminated.
With regards to suspects, there was the one at that time in Canal Road that I think to this day
Right,
remains.
that'll do it. I will be live later on. Thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you guys then. Lots of love to you all. Take care.